What is going on, guys, and welcome to episode 3 of the Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 Platinum Let's Play series. And just looking at this, the fact that we already have 3 coasters and in just this small plot of land, this is shaping up to be at least, like a big Six Flag park, in terms of the amount of roller coasters that we have. But what we're doing today is I'm making an Aero Corkscrew coaster. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a shorter of an episode than the rest of them because, these rides aren't really too hard to make. You can see what sort of area I'm trying to fit it in here between the Impulse and the Morgan Hyper. But, thinking about this, the fact that I'm fitting it in, I really wanted to put a junior coaster in this spot's location, but I was like, let's get that. I knew I needed an Aero Corkscrew coaster at some point, so let's go ahead and get it out of the way. So as you see, I tried to get it, right about to the lift height where I knew it would be able to make a loop, but still, have a decent drop. So I decided to do a curve drop. I was thinking about doing a turn and then maybe just a straight down drop. But I knew I maybe wanted to do something like Corkscrew where it has an airtime hill before the loop. And so I was wondering, if I did like an airtime hill right here and then I had it end there, if I'd be able to, just put a loop right after it. But then I went to thinking about maybe I could have it do, 3 laps instead of just 2. So what if I had to do another hill and had it turn around here? But that was just way too tall. That wasn't going to make it. So let's go back and see if I can restructure this, maybe get this to go down a little bit more, not at tunnel level. Let's see if I can get that to be straight down, get a nice little, more rounded airtime hill here, just like that. And then, this was going to crash into the station when I decided to have the big rounded airtime hill. So unfortunately, that's not going to be possible. So I got to go back, retry to do it again. So not round it out more, but do more of a pointy airtime hill. That's going to make it with some nice speed and give some nice and airtime. Or some nice and, wow, that was insane. And give us some decent airtime. So that's going to go over that hill, and then it's going to have a nice rounded out drop for the rest of it. And it's going to go right underneath the station, which is actually a cool little effect when you think about it. So let's see. That goes over really fast. Oh, I'm watching it sped up. I forgot about that. I was gonna say that goes over way too fast. When you actually see the POV, you're gonna see it's not too bad. It actually gives a really nice and decent pop of airtime, literally like Corkscrew's hill. So I like how that came out. I decided to do a little turnaround twist here to get back into going straight down because I knew I wanted to have the loop after this element, but I needed some sort of way to have it do a turnaround. I almost had to just go straight and then a turn and then a back and then go right back down, but I decided to go up with the angled upwards turn, which I did like how that came out. And seeing how it goes through this loop, I noticed that it was going through it a little slow, so I decided to go ahead and turn on low friction. And now this is the part that's going to take up the most of the video, because for some reason I could not figure this out. And I really originally when I was doing this, I wanted to have the helix come around and go over that section of the track that is the transition into the airtime hill. As you're gonna see, I'm gonna try to get it to be like that, but I just could not get that to work the way I wanted it to. So I'm going to try to do the helix this time, and this time see if I can get it to go right over top. But for some reason, I'm not sure why that was not enough clearance. If that would have been enough clearance, then what a near miss that would have been on the first drop, and what a cool element that would have been. But apparently, that's not enough clearance. So I think I try to do that a couple more times here before I ended up giving up. Alright, so after even doing some fiddling with the small helix to see if I could get it to work properly, I realized I wasn't going to get it, so I decided to do a little airtime hump into the helix, which actually gives a nice little piece of airtime. But then I couldn't get it to keep going around, and I realized I was probably at about the height I wanted it to be, because this was a really, really short Aero Corkscrew, so decided not to make it too big. And I knew I still needed to fit in 2 more corkscrews after that, and you can see that helix looks a little messed up, but it's an Aero, so I feel like we're not too far in the waters here. So I knew I wanted 2 corkscrews. I didn't know which way to do it. You're gonna see it ends up being right adjacent to to the Wicked Twister model, or more like Possessed, with a straight down drop on the impulse. So I tried to turn it back, and I knew I wanted another corkscrew you're going to see in the POV. That ends up being a really sharp transition into the corkscrew, which is just unfixable. I wish I could have it like curve as it goes into the corkscrew, but there was no way for me to get it to go over this airtime hill right here. There was absolutely no way for it. I was trying every single way, and it didn't work. No matter how I would place the corkscrew, it would not let me build up and over that. So I decided I had to try to do a wider turn to see if, maybe that would work, and that didn't work. That got me even closer to it. So I had to do a really, really tight turn there, which is part of the reason why it's such a bad transition into this corkscrew. Then do a little bit of that, and then that leaves us with a little bit of space here, but still not too much. So what I decided to do is just do a little upward turn, because I know at this point I just need to get it into the brake run. So that's a pretty sharp upwards turn, but they wouldn't have it in the game if it made people pass out. And then I just do a nice little bank turn into what's going to be the brake run right here. So it's a fairly short brake run. It's really close to approaching that speed where it'll go off on the end. It wouldn't be a very nice, pleasant stop if it had to block check. But here I am going to show you guys the POV of it with low friction on, and I'm going to be quiet for this one. So there you saw the POV of that one, and I will mention I forgot to change the colors in this video. The only thing I changed though is I made all of the track a nice light blue. I did keep the supports purple because I realized that I got that color palette from the drop tower that we made in the last episode. So now here I am just trying to figure out how to get a nice little looking entrance and exit. Unfortunately, I built this a little bit taller up, the station a little too tall up. So that's going to make the queue look a little bit weird. I'm going to have to wind the exit, as you can see, when I really just wanted to do a nice slow straight down thing there. But here we have our queue. I'm trying to figure out how to wind this down, how to have it, take up the least amount of space. I do end up putting a ride, you're going to see, between the Wicked Twister and where that queue is. That's why I have it shaped like that, and I do think I have to reshape it as I go on. But there we go. There is our Aero Corkscrew coaster. Just fit it right between the Intimate Impulse and the Morgan Hyper. I think we actually did a really good job fitting it in there, considering the amount of space it is, and it still has a half decent layout. It's not like just a basic one like Corkscrew. It's not a vortex, but it's not a bad one. So I tried to fit this one in here initially, and I couldn't figure out what was wrong with this one. I tried building up, I couldn't go left or right, and I didn't know what it was blocking because it seemed like there was enough space. I tried to put a chair swing in there, like a Zephyr at Kings Island. There was no space there. And so I was like, well, what can I put here? I'm trying to look at all the rides possible, and I'm thinking maybe, what rides are close to roller coasters at parks? How about, I thought that was something completely different, but I thought, how about the Dodge jumps? You're gonna see me scroll back up, and I place it, and all I need to do to actually get it to fit in is move that queue spot over one to the left, which is not a very hard fix. So you're just going to see me go ahead and move that over. People were rushing to this ride for some reason. So I think actually I'm not too worried about this side of the park being busy. And here you're going to see me try to pre-build the queue for what the Dodgems is. Now I'm going to end up putting the queue to the left back there, and then the entrance right in front, and it'll work nicely. And that's how we fit the Dodgems in, right? Perfect there. And I'm going to end up trying to fit another ride in here between the Morgan Hyper and the Corkscrew. It's really nice how these lift hills are actually adjacent. I do think I get a view from the fountain to see how that all looks after I put this one in. So originally I wanted to do that one, but that one would not fit. So I said, let me get one of from the models that I actually do like more than that one in real life and try to place one of those. and there is the space for it. I just have to place the queue there and the exit there, which is a little bit weird having the queue and the exit, you know, that far. It won't be fun to marathon for them, but I'm gonna place the queue like so there. I'm thinking, you know, maybe there's dynamite on this. Maybe I could do like a western section for this entire area, like a western theme. I'm not sure. I'm not even thinking into how I would do all that theming. I am gonna start placing trees though within the next couple episodes, but right here you're just seeing me add stalls because I know even though there's that big food court, customers complain when they get like 10 feet from a stall. So I'm just going to place those there, get that part of the section, and you can see there's our big food court. Here's the view from the fountain with the Corkscrew and the Morgan Hyper and the Impulse. I just think right now, as of right now, this park is starting to look fantastic. I'm already can tell I'm putting in a lot more effort into this than I am the rest of my Roller Coaster Tycoon parks. I'm trying to find a ride to fit here, so I'll probably end up putting something there in the next episode, but that is going to end episode 3. Like I said, just a quick one, just build a coaster and a couple of rides in this one, but it is an Aero Corkscrew, so a nice classic model. But we will see you guys in the next video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.